Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Joe from Gen Z Investments, and today I'm going to break down two really good stocks that fit really well into a Roth IRA. The reason they fit really well into a Roth IRA is because these are long-term stocks that you're going to want to hold for 20 years at least. The reason you're going to want to hold these stocks for 20 years at least is because of the trends that they're riding, whether it's artificial intelligence, robotics processing automation, video games, augmented reality, and virtual reality. These trends are all going to be trends that grow over the next 20, 30 years, and these two stocks are well positioned to take advantage from these trends. The reason that long-term stocks with massive potential are good for a Roth IRA is because right when you put money into a Roth IRA, you get taxed immediately instead of getting taxed when you pull money out. So you put $100 in, you get 20% taxed. You hold it until you're 59 and a half. That's the key thing. You have to be 59 and a half. And then when you pull your money out 59 and a half, it is tax free. So if you have a 500% gain on a stock, it does not get taxed at all. So that's why stocks that are super long-term oriented and have massive potential are great for Roth IRAs. Some facts about Roth IRAs is you can only put up to $6,000 per year in a Roth, or $7,000 if you're 50 or older, and you cannot contribute to a Roth IRA if you make above $130,000 as a single person or over $196,000 as a married person. So it's smart to max these out in your young 20s. Try to make a goal of getting $6,000 into a Roth every year, so then you're going to be set for retirement. And look for stocks that are long-term holds, because again, you want to be 59 and a half when you pull these out. So you want to look for long-term holds with massive potential. So you really take advantage of that no tax. So like I said here, this slide just reiterates the point that long-term stocks are perfect for Roth IRAs. You really want to shoot for those massive long-term gains here. Now, the first stock that has massive long-term potential is Unity Software. Unity Software has a software that is used by developers in order to make 2D, 3D, augmented reality, virtual reality, interactive experiences, and this is the key point here, for all types of consoles, whether it's a PC, a Mac, phones, gaming consoles like the Xbox, Nintendo, or PS5. So this software can be used for anything. It's extremely scalable, as in anyone can use it. I can use it to create a simple indie mobile game, or a high level developer can use it to create these type of 2D, 3D, AR, VR experiences for their games. So this software is very versatile and very easy to use. 50% of mobile games on the App Store actually use Unity software, and that number is going to continue to increase. This software really does remove the barrier to entry. Like I said, it doesn't just have to be a game developer using this. It could be an artist, storyteller, creator. You're going to see movie developers use this, architects, engineers. You're going to see all types of people using this to try to get those 2D, 3D, AR, and VR interactive experiences. So, Unity's business model is broken down into three pieces. The first piece and the main piece is create solutions. This is the software I was telling you about that uses the 2D, the 3D, the augmented reality, the virtual reality. This is 60% of its business as of quarter 3. And Unity actually reports earnings in about a week or so I can make a video going over the financials from that report too, if anyone really wants that. But again, this is a company that you really should not be too entrenched into the financials, because again, it's a long-term stock play on these industries here. But yeah, again, it's a huge part of their business. The software is really groundbreaking in the gaming industry and other industries potentially. And I think as the technology of AR and VR becomes cheaper and more advanced, that this software is really going to take off. Because again, simulating realities and simulating stories, simulating objects, making things look more realistic, making things pop out, enhancing the experience of games is what this software can really do. Its second part of its business is operate solutions. These are things that don't have anything to do with the core gameplay, right? These don't have anything to do with the plot, the characters, the combat, things like that, right? This is more of the servers, matchmaking, how to monetize ads, voice chat, right? So this Operate Solutions runs all of those things. And again, go back to my last video about Activision Blizzard, and I'll go over it again here real quick. The gaming industry is going to grow because of the amount of people who are going to game. It's going to grow because 15% of the gaming industry is of people who are 55 and older. And in 20 years, that number is going to be exponentially higher. And quality of games are going to improve due to technological advancements in cloud, artificial intelligence, data centers, right? The list goes on and on. Artificial intelligence, I'm going to say augmented reality, virtual reality, right? All these things are going to improve and the costs are going to go down, meaning that the quality of games are going to improve. So, if Operate Solutions, that's its second biggest part of its business, where it's 30% of its revenue, that supports voice chat, matchmaking, servers, all these things, right? And monetizing ads. If more people are on the game, these things are going to grow, right? So this is another huge growth driver for Unity here. And again, I think you got as I'm starting to break it down here, I think you guys can see that how over 20, 30 years this company is going to continue to grow steadily. Its last part of its business is its strategic partnerships. So with having this software and with making this software work for so many different consoles and types of gaming vehicles, as in Macs, computers, all the different consoles, right? They make multi-year agreements with the developers of these consoles in order to enable their software, right? So again, I think this is another big growth driver. As more people use this software, more consoles and more companies are going to want this software to be used for them, meaning a partnership, right? So the three parts of their business model are all huge growth drivers here, as well as the industries that these business models fall into. So I think you can really see how over the long term, there is massive potential for games. Yes, currently it's a little bit speculative. Yes, they don't make a lot of money. They're not profitable. But over the long term, I think you guys can see how a company like this can be so important. Unity as it is, their Create Solutions and Operate Solutions are both used for games like Pokemon Go and Hearthstone and half of the games on the App Store, right? Let that sink in. Really popular games in those two games and more, and 50% of the App Store. And that number is only going to grow. And that just shows how important the software really is to the industry as a whole. I just want to reiterate the importance of mobile gaming. Like I said, Unity is used on 50% of the games and apps in the App Store, and it's on super popular games like Pokemon Go and Hearthstone, right? So if they are a dominant force in mobile gaming, then it's definitely a good idea to look at how the industry is moving. And like I was talking about in my last video on Activision Blizzard, mobile gaming is going to be huge, and it's a huge part of the investment thesis over there too. But between 5G, data centers, and cloud computing, that trifecta of how they all help each other, again, you got to go back in my last video and look at it, but just to keep it just a short summary, the 1 millisecond of latency in 5G combined with the high processing power of data centers combined with being able to run software in the cloud, the combination of those three is really going to enhance the quality of video games on mobile. And as you can see in this left chart, the number of games and apps on the App Store has grown at a really strong rate, and the chart on the right is showing how mobile gaming is eclipsing PC gaming and console gaming as the more favorable way to game and has higher growth rates. So this is a really lucrative market here that Unity is extremely well positioned and positioned now to take advantage of, right? So like I said, we're talking about Roth IRA stocks here. This trend is going to continue because of technological advancements, and Unity is positioned perfectly to grow from that. Now, yes, mobile gaming is a huge growth driver, but Unity is actually a leader in augmented reality, virtual reality, the metaverse, and virtual worlds. All of these are huge ideas and huge potential markets. Virtual worlds has a compounded annual growth rate of 17% going into 2025. That is the current projection. That's a really strong compounded annual growth rate. 90% of emerging augmented reality content is using Unity software, and 60% for VR. So again, two extremely big markets here, right? AR is projected to have a $1 trillion market cap in 2030, which is a 60% compounded annual growth rate. We're talking huge numbers here. And again, we're just reiterating the fact why we would want this in a Roth, because this is a long-term stock. So now we have mega trends in AR, VR, virtual worlds, metaverse. They kind of all mesh together in some ways. Augmented reality is a little bit separated from that, but they're all relatively combined and have some parts that work into the other. So like I said, these four growth drivers and mobile gaming and gaming as a whole, right? So Unity is a great play on these growing trends. And who knows what their technology can do for engineers, architects, teachers, all types of things, right? So I think the possibilities are endless here with their software, and I think it's a great stock to speculate on for the long term to a Roth. So Unity software was a great stock for augmented reality, virtual worlds, gaming, mobile, all these trends, right? So now we're going to go on to UiPath. UiPath is a great play on artificial intelligence and RPA, robotics processing automation. UiPath's business is built on these two trends. And their goal is to automate enterprises, automate businesses, make tedious tasks like plugging in numbers into Excel, going through emails, scanning files, all of this stuff they're trying to automate. They're trying to build software to do this. And the reason this is so important is because now the workspace environment is going to be happier. It's going to be better because you're doing less tedious tasks. Individuals are going to feel more empowered. They're going to have more time to focus on real tasks. They're going to feel less, they're going to, that feeling at work when you're doing something pointless and tedious, like, what the fuck am I doing here? Workplaces and individuals aren't going to feel that anymore. Businesses are going to be more efficient and productive. That's UiPath's goal here. And let me tell you, they have some really strong technology, especially in RPA and AI. Their natural processing, computer vision, machine learning are all top tier. And the machine learning is actually used on their software bots to create other software bots and to identify parts of the business which could be used by software bots. So their AI machine learning looks at your business, sees what tasks can be automated, and then by doing that, they create a bot that will automate those tasks that they identified, which is just mind-blowing, the technology we have here. And this all leads to a 60 billion TAM, total addressable market here. And UiPath is not valued very highly compared to that growth rate, right? You have massive potential here. So I think as a play on AI and RPA, this is a great stock. Again, a great long-term stock here because over the next 20 years, businesses and enterprises are obviously going to become more digitized and more automated, just like how everything's becoming more digitized. So, like I said, UiPath software bots can transform the efficiency of businesses and individuals. They can go through emails, create tedious Excel models, plug in numbers, right? And automating these tasks really will empower individuals, make them feel less lazy, give them real work to do, make the business cog better, right? Also, employees. So not just the software bots can make other bots, the employees of a company can use UiPath software and simply create a bot. Kind of how Unity software lowers the barrier of entry for people creating games. The software that they made here lowers the barrier of entry of making a software bot that can automate things. They make it really easy. It's laid out very easy. It requires little to no coding. You can create your own bot for a certain thing that you want automated. So I think that once UiPath automates more businesses, I think that their product's going to become very sticky because why would you want to go through the process of completely changing through your software just to get a new bot? So I think they're not going to really have a lot of competitors once they take market share and start automating businesses. So again, I think this is a perfect stock for a Roth IRA. It's a long-term stock, betting on the fact that businesses are going to become more digital than they already are and more automated than they already are. I think the growth potential here is amazing for both of these stocks. Again, perfect Roth IRA stocks. This is not financial advice by any means. This is just educational. These stocks are both quite speculative as they don't make a lot of money now. But again, long-term plays with massive potential. These are the stocks that you want to look for in a Roth IRA. As long as maybe investing in the SPY, investing in the QQQ and the IVV, right? So I think a combination of these speculative, long-term, massive potential stocks with some safe ETFs is a great way to build a Roth IRA. It's been Joe from Gen Z Investments. Look into these stocks, do your own research. There's massive opportunity here. I currently don't own any of these stocks, but I plan on it. I definitely plan on it. I do think Bitcoin is too good of an opportunity not to really focus on and put your money in there. But I think as a long-term Roth IRA, if you have money to put into a Roth, these are definitely stocks you got to take a look at. See ya!